Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and the Washington Commanders just drafted North Carolina quarterback Sam Howell with the 144th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. I think this is an absolute steal, so we're going to talk about this and the player in today's video. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 7,500 subscribers. So please help me get there. Now let's get right into it. So Sam Howell definitely wasn't a reach. I mean, a lot of people had him as like a second round quarterback. I mean, some people before the draft started even thought he could sneak into the first, like him, maybe Desmond Ridder, but a lot of those other QBs that they thought would go in the first actually went in the third round, so that's why Sam Howell dropped. But this is very good value for, a quarterback that a lot of people thought would go in that second round. Washington gets him with the first pick in the fifth round, and Ron Rivera has been saying this for a while. He thought they would get a rookie QB and a veteran QB. They got Carson Wentz, and they already have Taylor Heineke, and now they got that rookie QB they were talking about in Sam Howell. So I think this, completes the quarterback room, and I think this is a very, very good combination because you get a guy who's going to start off likely as a third string QB behind Wentz and Heineke, but he has some upside, and he's going to be able to sit behind two guys that have been in the league for a while, and he's going to be able to develop, and he'll likely be a career backup, but you never know, can turn into way more than that because he definitely has potential because, before this season, a lot of people thought he could be the number one pick in the draft, but he lost a lot of players at UNC. So, real quick, let's look at the stats first for Sam Howell, the measurables as well. So 6'1", 220 pounds this past year for UNC, had, 3,056 yards. His completion percentage was about 63%, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So, not bad numbers, not great numbers. And then he also, though, had 828 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns. The year before, though, 3,600 yards, 30 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and, ran for only 146 yards. And the year before, 38 and 7. So definitely dipped down a little bit in production and the level of play, but there's a reason for that. He lost, I believe, Newsome, one of his receivers. He obviously lost De'Ami Brown, who was very productive for Sam Howell. He lost Michael Carter, one of his running backs. He lost Javonte Williams, another one of his running backs. I mean, he lost a lot of weapons, and that really, really hurt him this year. That's why his rushing numbers went from 146 to 828 yards. And 11 touchdowns. I don't think he's as mobile as those numbers say. He's still definitely, somewhat mobile, especially like in the red zone. I think he is a threat, especially up the middle, but to the side, I don't think he's like a great mobile, QB in terms of running outside of the pocket, but, running straight up the middle, like I think he can get that job done. Like if you ever need some quarterback sneaks and, Carson Wentz injured or anything, has an ankle issue, I think Sam Howell can definitely do that for you. And I really like this pick. The value is great in the fifth round. So let's go over 6'1", 218 pounds. You guys can see the hand size right there. Projected by Lance Zierlein to go in the second round. So let's read the overview. Stocky, 3-year starter who plays with an admirable confidence despite inconsistencies in important areas as a passer. Howell attacks the field working from a deep to short when he's allowed. He's not a classic full field reader at this point, but has pocket poise and mobility to potentially develop in that area in the future. He muscle throws, hindering his accuracy on drive throws, but has adequate arm strength and can expedite off-platform throws. I think he has one of the best deep balls in this class. Howell doesn't throw with nearly enough timing or ball placement, which forces wideouts into the boundaries or to break side, limiting their yak potential. He flashed impressive dual threat talent in 2021, which should work in his favor. The 2021 tape was bumpy, but his makeup is really good and improvement is likely with better pieces around him. Howell isn't wired or suited to a ball control passing attack and might need a vertical passing scheme capable of creating explosive plays in order to succeed. So, I definitely think Howell is a little bit raw, and, that's okay because he's not going to be playing for us, of course, right away. And, hopefully Wentz is our guy, and, we don't need Sam Howell to play, but, he's going to sit behind Taylor Heineke, behind Carson Wentz, and he's going to be able to see from these guys who've been in the league for a while, and I think that is a very good thing for him. He'll obviously get time in the preseason as well to develop, and eventually he could turn into a very good backup or even a starter eventually. Who knows at this point with Sam Howell? I mean, a lot of teams passed up on him multiple times. This team did as well. But I think the value in the 5th round is very, very good, and it's too much to pass up. Some strengths: gamer tendencies since freshman season, confident demeanor leaks over to teammates, some sandlot talent when pressed, has some sandlot talent when pressed, climbs pocket with scanner still clicked on, adequate decision maker, reading combo routes, can get to his 3rd read across the field. You guys can see some of the other things right here. He has pretty good arm strength, like one of the stronger arms in this class, and like all the QBs fell from where a lot of people thought they would go. Like everyone's always like the QBs, once the draft goes, they move up the board, but this year they moved down the board. I mean, Pickett went in the 1st, and I thought he was QB1, and then after that, Desmond Ridder, I believe, went in the 2nd, and then Malik Willis and Matt Corral went in the 3rd, and then Bailey Zappi even went before Sam Howell, which I totally disagree with. I know a lot of Washington fans really like Sam Howell, so I'm happy for them here, and I like Sam Howell, not as much as a lot of Washington fans, but at this point in the 5th round, I think it's a great pick, and you reunite him with De'Ami Brown, so they're going to be able to develop that connection even further in practice, and who knows, maybe even in the game sometimes. So it's very, very valuable to have backups, and I think that's what Sam Howell is at this point, a backup option that eventually high upside backup option that could turn into a starter eventually with the right development, but it's going to take time. It's not going to be a 1 year, probably even 2 year thing. It'll be a couple years down the line. And here's a good thing. If, let's say, Carson Wentz doesn't work out this year and Howell shows some things in his rookie year in terms of practice, and maybe Carson Wentz goes down with an injury and Sam Howell, looks good, then you have a potential option next year and you don't have to totally panic. So it's definitely an option there. Okay, so let's read some weaknesses real quick. Lacks accuracy on drive throws, takes too many unnecessary sacks. That right there, very correctable. A lot of the things that you see on his weaknesses, I feel like, are very correctable things. He has the arm strength. He's somewhat mobile, not extremely mobile, but mobile enough where he can get outside the pocket, extend some plays, get some rushing yards as well. You guys saw the numbers, 800 plus yards. That is absolutely insane. And yeah, he just didn't have much help at UNC, so we'll see what happens this year. But I think, again, very, very good value in the 5th round, just too good to pass up. I don't like grading day 3 picks, but when it's obvious like this where we got a good deal at a premium position, I think it's an A+ pick, because even if he turns into a great backup, you'll take that every single day of the week in the 5th round at the quarterback position. A backup is very valuable. We have Taylor Heineke, who I believe is on has 1 more year on his deal. So, if you can't re-sign Taylor Heineke, which I think they can, but if you can't, then you have Sam Howell there as a backup. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think everyone's going to be liking this pick. I really don't see how you can have an issue with this pick. Oh, and I forgot to talk about Carson Wentz. I don't think he's going to have an issue with this pick at all, because, even Sam Ehlinger last year, who got drafted by the Colts out of Texas, I think he was a 4th or 5th round pick. Carson Wentz did not have an issue with that. He had an issue with Jalen Hurts in the 2nd. If we would have drafted quarterback in the 2nd, then maybe he would have had an issue with it. Still don't. I think he's learned from his mistakes. But even then, I think he has no issue with this. It's a 5th round rookie. He knows where he is in the lineup, and he knows more likely than not that Sam Howell is going to be the 3rd quarterback on the depth chart. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.